Hi mga kapatid, mga ka-awesome, mga kaibigan. Welcome once again to another episode of Daily Hours where we read, reflect, and respond to the greatest story ever told, the Bible. One recorded here in our Bibles, mga kapatid, mga ka-awesome. And for tonight, we will continue our series on the book of Genesis. And by the way, we are doing this daily, right? Yes, you heard that, right? Daily, every day. And we've been doing that for over a year already. Praise God. Why daily? Because for me personally, I believe this is our spiritual food. And when we say spiritual food, it's similar, almost similar to our physical food. Kumakain tayo 3 beses isang araw, di ba? So why not also allow at least a time for us to study the Bible? Pwede niyong gawing mag-isa, di ba? Pero mas maganda rin kung merong sama-sama, di ba? Like when we eat, pwede niyong gawing mag-isa, pwede niyo rin gawin magsama-sama. So it's a choice that you have to make. But for now, this is done in groups. Ayan. That's why we do it daily. And Jesus even said that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Kaya yan po ang idea behind daily hours. So, welcome once again mga kaawesome mga kapatid. For tonight, I am joined by Jerome and Angel. Although si Angel medyo nadi-disconnect, I hope he can connect soon. But yes, I am with Jerome as of now. Kamusta naman dyan, Jerome? And belated happy birthday, by the way. Okay, kamusta?
Thank you, Jess. Thank you for all the birthday greetings. I am happy and I feel very blessed. And it's nice to have fellowship here again. How about you, Kuya Jess?
Awesome, I'm glad that you feel blessed indeed, and we are able to have fellowship kahit virtual, I am good. Just came from a physical fellowship, kakagaling ko lang, and then diretso na dito, kaya busog na busog physically and spiritually. So solid na solid. And pasa ko naman kay AG. I hope okay na yung connection at makayanan. Brother AG, kamusta dyan?
Hello bro. Ayun. Sorry. Ang bagal na internet ngayon. Sige. Di mo na magkakam. Ayun, ayos naman. Actually, relatively hindi ako ganun ka-okay kasi may side effect sa akin yung vaccine. Parang sakit ng kulani ko. Sakit ng, nagkakulani ako sa aking armpit. Pero sana maging okay na.
Oo nga bro. Sana maging okay na. Okay. May naalala ko tuloy akong joke. Sino bang nag-joke doon? Si O'Neil ba yun?
Yeah.
Pero hindi daw magka-side effect. Doon ka daw sa likod magpa-vaccine. Anyway, si O'Neil kasi nag-joke nun. Ikaw ba yun bro? Anyway. Or si Ezra. Corny, di ba? Joke lang.
Tumabagal ka?
Alright. Thank you, AG. Sana gumaling ka. And of course, yung mga andito na, mga ka-awesome natin. Just good evening and thank you for the tags. Good evening, Aldwin. Good evening, Isa. Hello, Irish. Thank you for the heart. Good evening, O'Neil. Blessed evening kay Alvin. Blessed evening sa lahat, sabi niya. Good evening din to John Kenneth. Kuya Kaloy, Joshua, good evening. Maxine, blessed evening. Lester, good evening. Hello, thank you for the tags. Ayan, tinatapanan ni Alvin yung si Bea Moore, no? Paramihan kayo ng tinatag. Alright, maganda yan. For God's greater glory. Good evening, Janet. Good evening and TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Weekend na naman tayo. Good evening everyone from Says, and thank you for the tags. Good evening to Irish ulit. And from Leah, hey. Hello mga magaganda at gwapo. Naks, sino yung mga magaganda at gwapo dyan? Taas mga kamay. Magandang gabi, umaga at hapon sa inyong lahat. Awesome. Let's go. Share na. Basa na. Ingat kayo lagi. Smile and enjoy. Yes, we'll be reading this shortly. And please do share the live as well to your friends, family, and everybody. At kung ito ang inyong unang panood dito sa episode na ito, welcome. You're very much welcome to join us in our study of the Bible, the book of Genesis. Okay? Thank you, Leah, for the constant reminder. And Ate Mayan, good evening po. Magandang gabi. Blessed evening to Bea Moore. Awesome. Nag-awesome na si Jeremy. Dean Garcia, hello, welcome as well to daily hours. Okay, so before we start reading, bago tayo magbasa ng mga kapatid at mga ka-awesome, mabilisang recap lang po muna tayo. And sinimulan natin ang chapter 31 kagabi. First half. Okay, tapos itutuloy natin yung second half, 31 to 55 ngayon. So Jacob separates from Laban because God asked him to. God asked Jacob to return to where? To return to his land of his ancestors and to your family, and I will be with you. Okay, and before this, nagpapaalam na rin actually si Jacob, pero ayaw siyang pakawalan dahil through Jacob yumayaman si Laban. So doon natin nakikita yung puso ni Laban. Gusto niya ng ari-arian, gusto niyang yumaman, no? Timpayaman si Laban kasi, no? At he's taking advantage of Jacob because he is saying, he sees that Jacob is being blessed at nadadamay siya dun sa blessings na yun. Tapos, kinausap ngayon ni Jacob si Rachel and Leah, kanyang mga asawa. Kasi hindi naman siya lang yung uuwi, no? Kailangan niya kasama yung wives niya para umuwi. That's why he told them the plan and then they agreed naman. At isang inexplain niya rin that their father was cheating him, okay, for 10 times, no? Pinalitan niya yung wages 10 times. Tapos iba na yung treatment sa kanya dahil yung mga anak ni Laban sinasabihan na, si Jacob, mas mayaman na siya sa'yo. 'Di ba? Baka kinukuha niya na yung kayamanan mo. Nako, paano ba yan? Laban. At dahil dyan napaisip si Laban siguro, kaya naging iba rin yung trato niya kay Jacob. So that's another reason bakit kailangang umalis ni Jacob doon sa pinagstayan niya with Laban. Ayun po. And so far, nag-agree naman si Rachel and Leah na umalis. And sadly, bago umalis sila, si Rachel, kumuha siya ng idol. Okay? Gods ni Laban. Okay? And then, 22 to 30, on the third day, nabalitaan ni Laban na umalis si Jacob and then he wanted to pursue Jacob. Perhaps, to punish him or to do something bad against him. But thank God, he was protected. God came to Laban in a dream and then sabi niya, watch yourself. God warned him, don't say anything to Jacob, either good or bad. And so, ito nga yung nangyari. So far, ang ginawa lang ni Laban was clarify bakit siya umalis nang hindi nagpapaalam, bakit kinuha niya yung mga daughters niya na yun, walang paalam. And isa pa, why have you stolen my God? So concerned din siya dun sa nanakaw na idols niya. So ayun po. At itutuloy natin ngayon yung conversation, yung usapan nila Jacob and Laban. And as you can see, there will be a covenant that will happen between them two. So ayan po, ito ang ating babasahin tonight, 31 to 55. So what are you waiting for? Comment na rin tayo ng awesome na nasimulan na kanina ni Jeremy. Okay, pa-comment na tayo ng awesome dyan at sisimulan na natin basahin itong text na ito. For now, 31 or 31 to 35 po muna. And I'll be asking Jerome to read for us the text. By the way, you can always check the recap or the previous episodes dito sa Facebook page or dun sa YouTube channel. Okay. I hope you are ready. Let's see, may mga humabol pa ba? Thank you, Irish, for tagging your friends. And Bea Moore, solid tags. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for tagging. Thank you. Awesome. All right. Thank you for the awesome comments. Hello po, Ate Melissa. Good evening, everyone. Awesome indeed. Joshua, thank you for the awesome comments, mga ka-awesome. I think they are ready. So, let's read 31 to 35 muna. Jerome, take it away.
31 to 35. Jacob answered, I was afraid, because I thought that you might take your daughters away from me. But if you find that anyone here has your gods, he will be put to death. Here, with our men as witnesses, look for anything that belongs to you and take what is yours. Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen Laban's gods. Laban went and searched Jacob's tent. Then he went into Leah's tent, and the tent of the two slave women, but he did not find his gods. Then he went into Rachel's tent. Rachel had taken the household gods and put them in a camel's saddlebag and was sitting on them. Laban searched through the whole tent, but did not find them. Rachel said to her father, "Do not be angry with me, sir, but I am not able to stand up in your presence. I am having my monthly period." Laban searched but did not find his household gods.
Okay, ayan na muna. So, ang unang concern, ang nakita ko dito, ang pinaka-concern ni Laban is yung gods niya, no? Yung idols niya. So, the whole text, it talks about that. Laban looking for his idols, his gods. So, any principles and insights, if you have observations here, you would like to share, itype lang po na sa comment section and we will be reading that. Or questions, ilagay nyo lang din po dyan. For now, I'll be asking AG for his observations dun sa text na nabasa, 31 to 35. I hope that he is here. Okay,
Hello,
AG?
bro. Hello, bro. Okay. Good evening again, mga ka-awesome. So, ito sa mga verses na nabasa, no? Una-una dun sa verse 31. Sinabi ni Jacob bakit siya tumakas dun kay Laban. Dahil nga natatakot siya, no? He was afraid, no, na baka kunin naman yung mga asawa niya, no? So, dito pala makikita natin yung mutual distrust, no? Yung toxic relationship ni na Jacob and yung kanyang biyenan na si Laban. So napaka-toxic ng relationship nila. So of course sa mga previous chapters, no, makita natin dito kung ano yung mga ganap, ano yung mga pandaraya na na-experience ni Jacob dahil sa biyenan niyang si Laban. And then sa verse 32, makita natin dito yung isang response ni Jacob kay Laban. Ayun nga, anyone with whom you find your God shall not live. Of course, nakita natin dito sa verses, no, na kinuha ni Rachel nung kanyang asawa yung household idols. Pero yun, sinabi ni Jacob to out of his ignorance. So makita natin dito yung pagiging padalos-dalos niya. Kasi kung alam naman niya na si Rachel yun, di naman niya sasabihin yun, no, na kung kanino matagpuan yung idol na yun is dapat mamatay. So nakita natin dito yung ganong style ni Jacob, naging padalos-dalos. And then makita natin dito, no, so nag-search na si Laban, no, sa mga tent nung mga asawa ni Jacob, even do sa mga female servants. And dito sa verse 34, makita natin, no, verse 35 yun. So nung time na nandun na siya, napalapit na siya kay Rachel, sa kanyang anak na si Rachel, isa-search na siya sana dun, pero hindi niya magawang i-search kasi mayroong excuse si Rachel, no? Na yun nga, si Rachel ngayon nagnakaw nung household idol. So tinago niya, inupuan niya. So ang ginawa niya excuse is meron siyang menstruation. So hindi ako pwedeng gumala parang ganun kasi may menstruation ako. So sa madaling salita. So yun, naisahan din niya yung father niya. So makita natin, no, itong mga story dito, puro may kinalaman sa pang-iisa, pandaraya. So yun yung makita nating buhay ni Jacob, mapapansin niyo, no. Simula pa lang kumbaga parang nakita ko dito naging somehow inani ni Jacob yung ginawa niyang pandaraya kay Esau, no. Ayun. Ngayon regarding dun sa pagnanakaw, kung bakit ninakaw ni Rachel yung household idol. Actually hindi naman sinabi sa text, no, kung anong reason talaga kung bakit. Although may mga theories yung mga tao kung bakit ninakaw niya. So one theory is yung siya mismo is idolater. Si Rachel mismo. Kumbaga or ito kasing idol na to, isang teraphim, isang term dito, isang yung ginamit na word. parang ano siya, parang talisman, parang agimat. So in other words, isang reason but maaaring kinuha ni Rachel is it might be na kino-consider niya as lucky charm. Or siya mismo, kumbaga, in other words, superstitious, ganun. So another reason, or theory, again, theory lang to, hindi naman talaga nabanggit dito, is that, maring gusto niya na mailayo sa idolatry yung father niya. Actually, yun yung isang theory ng mga ibang Jewish rabbis, no? Na gusto niya mailayo sa idolatry yung father niya, na si Laban. Another theory is that, di ba, ang may tate sa context, no, na si Jacob, gustong-gusto na niya makakawala dito sa father-in-law niya na abusive, na toxic, na masyado siyang inaabuso, masyado siyang dinadaya. And then ito na yung time kasi nila ni na Rachel na makatakas na talaga. Ngayon, probably sa thinking ni Rachel, maring may superstition din siya na since tumakas sila ng palihim, baka maring may idea si Rachel na itong si Laban is kumonsulta siya dun sa household idol. So in other words, kumbaga ang ninakaw kasi ni Rachel dito is yung Diyos-Diyosan ng tatay niya. So baka maaaring sa thinking niya, ay baka kumonsulta to si Laban dun sa household idol. E tumakas nga kami, no? So ayun yung mahadlangan yung balak nila ni Jacob na talagang umalis sa poder ng father niya. So again, mga theories lang naman yun. Again, di naman talaga nabanggit dito sa text kung ano talaga exact reason bakit niya kinuha yun. So yun, wala ring hindi rin nakita at this point, di nakita ni Laban, no? So yun lang muna for now.
Thank you for that, Brother AG. So yung nabanggit kong theory is yung influence, no? So far, parang yun yung reason na nakikita ko dito eh. Perhaps may influence yung father niya with regards to idolatry. Tapos quick comment lang regarding sa assurance or assume. Nag-assume ba si Jacob dito? If you find your gods with anyone here, he will not live. So, nagsalita siya ng patapos, no? Kahit na 100% sure siya, di ba? Paano kung nalaman? And I remember a story related here, right? From the Old Testament na nagsalita ng patapos si Jephthah, na sabi niya kung ano yung lumabas sa door or kung anong unang makita niya, i-offer niya as a sacrifice for the Lord. Tapos yung daughter niya yung lumabas. So, kung ano yung sinabi niya, yung ginawa niya. So, di ba? Parang minsan talaga ang hirap magsalita ng patapos. Kahit nasa tingin mo 100% sure ka. Tapos, grabe kasi yung binibigay pa na, anong tawag dito, nakapalit, di ba? He will not live. Grabe. Parang buhay na yung kapalit dito. So, ayun. Kaya nanganib talaga yung buhay ni Rachel. I'm not sure kung nakikinig siya, but perhaps kaya tinago niya talaga rin Okay. Si Jerome, baka may gusto kang idagdag or additional insights dun sa nabasa mo.
Actually, nasabi na ni Kuya AG, pero I will try to add konti lang. So, mapapansin natin dito na they are rich, 'di ba? So, sabi 3 days later, Laban was told that Jacob went away. Technically kung iisipin natin kung maliit lang yung property nila, hindi ba mapapansin mo agad? I mean considering the number, 'di ba? Ang dami nila, 12 sila, tapos yung mga maid servants pa, and then yung 2 wives. So hindi mo ba mapapansin na parang may kulang? Parang gano'n. Lalo na kung yung mga bata na nandito is super mapapansin mo kasi kung walang maingay parang gano'n. Pero dito makikita mo considering it, their property was probably so large. Hindi sinabi sa teksto pero kung i-analyze natin yung situation. And also, here pala sa verse 33, Laban had no intentions of harming them. Kasi 'di ba God appeared to him in a dream. Sabi niya sa verse 24 yesterday, sabi niya 'di ba, "Be careful not to threaten Jacob in any way." Yun yung sinabi sa kanya in a dream. So, wala siyang intention talaga na saktan sila. Pero ang napansin niya nga 'di ba, sabi ni Kuya Jesse, ang napansin niya is yung household gods, and which is not something nice, 'di ba, yung idolatry dito. There are multiple rules about idolatry. And then also Jacob was so confident here, 'di ba? And in a way, yung nakita ko naman dito sa part na 'to, parang nire-reflect niya yung principles niya as a husband and a father. Kasi siguro sabi niya, kung wala naman kaming ninakaw and hindi hindi ko naman sila tinuruan magnakaw probably, bakit ako matatakot? Pero yun nga 'di ba yung sabi nila kuya na parang inassume niya na agad na wala and ang sad dito is hindi hindi mo inexpect na si Rachel pa yung gagawa nun, 'di ba? And yun yung mahal na mahal niya na babae, siya pa yung kumuha nun. And again, 'di ba, we see here na a lot of times dito makikita natin dito yung parang pandaraya and pagnakaw, yung mga gano'n and everything else. Pero still, 'di ba, it's the plan. Parang it's part of the plan pa rin kahit makikita natin na ang daming nangyari na kadayaan talaga dito right from the start. But but still, 'di ba, God protected them and at least sa following verses makikita natin na makakalaya na din si Jacob from the 20 years. Yun lang po.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you indeed. So, I agree with that, na yung nabanggit ko nga kagabi regarding the takeaway is that nanganganak ang kasalanan. So, dito patuloy, especially sa lying. Kumbaga, first time na nagsinungaling ka, parang napapatungan siya lalo. Like here, di ba? Nagsinungaling si, before that, Leah took the idols without saying anything. So, walang nakakaalam. And so, anong nangyari? Parang nagpatong-patong na, no? So, paano kanya malulusutan yun? So, ngayon, nagsinungaling ulit siya. Kunwari, may period daw siya, and so on. So, yes, deception. Deception, and deception, and lying, and so on. Okay, may comment dito si Aiza. Kung ano ang nakikita ng anak sa magulang, maaari din itong gawin ng anak tulad ni Laban na deceitful, ganun din ang napakita ni Rachel sa pag-deceit sa father niya. So, we should watch our behavior as parents because children are modeling our behavior and attitude. Good point ito, Aiza, I agree, and what children see, usually they also follow. Kasi isipin nila, yung magulang ko, ang ginagawa nila, ako pa kaya, di ba? Parang may ganong thinking. So, most of the times, ganun nga yung nangyari. Thank you, Aiza, for that. And I do agree na that could be the case here with Rachel. Okay, thank you for the comment. And I think we're ready to proceed with the rest of the verses 36 to 55. 36 to 55. Okay, basahin natin. Ulit, Jerome, go ahead.
36 to 55. Then Jacob became incensed and brought charges against Laban. What is my crime? He said to Laban. What is my sin that you have pursued me? You've searched all my possessions. Have you found anything of yours? Put it here before my relatives and yours, and let them decide between the two of us. I've been with you these 20 years. Your ewes and female goats have not miscarried, and I have not eaten the rams from your flock. I did not bring any of the flock torn by wild beasts. I myself bore the loss. You demanded payment from me for what was stolen by day or by night. There I was, the heat consumed by day and the frost by night, and sleep fled from my eyes. For 20 years in your household I served you, 14 years for your 2 daughters and 6 years for your flocks, and you have changed my wages 10 times. If the God of my father, the God of Abraham, the fear of Isaac had not been with me, certainly now you would have sent me off empty handed. But God has seen my affliction and my hard work, and he issued his verdict last night. Then Laban answered Jacob, the daughters are my daughters, the children my children, and the flocks my flocks. Everything you see is mine. But what can I do today if these daughters of mine, or for the children they have borne? Come now, let's make a covenant, you and I. Let it be a witness between the two of us. So Jacob picked out a stone and set it up as a marker. Then Jacob said to his relatives, gather stones. And they took stones and made mound, and then there by the mound. Laban named the mound Jegar Sahadutha, but Jacob named it Galid. Then Laban said, "This mound is a witness between you and me today." Therefore the place was called Galid, and also Mizpah. For he said, "May the Lord watch between you and me, and we are out of each other's sight. If you mistreat my daughters or take other wives, though no one is with us, understand that God will be a witness between you and me." Laban also said to Jacob, "Look at this mound and the marker I have set up between you and me. This mound is a witness, and the marker is a witness, that I will not pass beyond this mound to you, and you will not pass beyond this mound and this marker to me to do me harm. The God of Abraham and the gods of Nahor, the gods of their father, will judge between us." And Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered a sacrifice on the mountain and invited his relatives to a meal. So they ate a meal and spent the night on the mountain. Laban got up early in the morning, kissed his grandchildren and daughters, and blessed them. Then Laban left to return home.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. That was 36 to 55. Ano? So let's talk about this, the rest of the remaining verses ng chapter 31. Okay, so if you have insights and reflections here, observations, i-type nyo na rin dyan, i-comment nyo na rin, at kung may katanungan, tanong nyo na rin. So, sa akin, quick summary while Jerome was reading that, naglabas ng sama ng loob si Jacob kay Laban. Sinabi niya yung kanyang mga hinanaing kay Laban. Sinabi niya yung mga kamalian ni Laban. And eventually, nag-respond din si Laban, and they have decided to make an agreement, to make a covenant between the two of them. And lastly, so far, it was a good covenant. Nag-agree silang dalawa, and they departed. Kumain pa sila, they shared a last meal and spent the night on the mountain. Laban got up early in the morning, kissed his grandchildren and daughters, and blessed them. Then Laban left to return home. So finally, humiwalay naman na si Laban. Okay, so insights, reflections, AG. Si AG
Hello.
na
Ayan. Okay. Ayun, sana okay ulit ang aking net. So yun, kagaya naman nabanggit ni Brother Jesse, no? So, basically, ito dito sa verses 36 to 41, then, yun, naglabas nga ng sama ng loob si parang nagrant na si Jacob kay Laban. And in fairness kay Jacob, hindi ko rin siya masisi kung ba't ganito na lang yung sama ng loob niya sa biyanan niya, no? After all ng mga paghihirap niya nung ilang years, no? 7 years kay Rachel, nagsilbi siya, tas additional, 7 years kay Leah, tas 7 years kay Rachel, then may additional years pa yata, no? So, sobrang daming dami niyang, nakatikim siya ng pang-aabuso ng biyanan niya. So, classic example, no? Kasi usually no, mga biro-biroan, no? Parang minsan di kasundo nung mga manugang yung biyanan nila. So, ito yung isang example nun. And then, so in short, sinasabi lang ni Jacob dito na although naging empleyado siya, basically parang naging empleyado siya ni Laban eh. Although naging empleyado siya ni Laban, hindi niya inabuso yung kung anong meron siya. In fact, ano pa nga mas nagbigay pa nga siya ng pabor kay Laban. For example, dito sa verse 39, sabi dito, "What was torn by wild beasts, I did not bring to you. I bore the loss of it myself." So, nung unang panahon kasi, merong ancient custom din na tawag dito, yung mga shepherd, for example, shepherd, tapos meron silang employer. Kunwari, yung kanilang sheep is napatay ng kung sinong predator, maring wolf, o kung anumang klaseng hayop yun. Then, dapat magpakita sila ng evidence na somehow, gumawa sila ng paraan na iligtas yung yung sheep. So in other words, magpapakita, ito yung mga tira-tira, parang ganun. Pag mapakita ng evidence na yun, at least parang di na sila maging liable. Pero sa case ni Jacob, hindi niya ginawa yun. Instead na magbigay siya ng evidence, ang ginawa niya is pinalitan pa niya yung mismong sheep na nawala. So yun, in other words, nagsilbi siya ng maayos, naging loyal siya, no? Tapos kumbaga parang sasabi, ano bang problema mo? Ano, Laban ganito. Ayos namang pakikitungo ko sa iyo. Nagsilbi ako sa iyo. Naging mabuti akong empleyado, parang ganun. Okay? And another observation ko is dito sa verse 42. Makita natin dito na ayun nga, na-recognize ni Jacob yung presence ng Diyos sa buhay niya. So in spite of the sufferings na na-experience niya sa biyanan niya, nakita niya no na na-recognize niya na lahat ng kabutihang na-experience niya, lahat ng wealth, yung mga ari-arian, yung mga flocks, yun ay dahil sa biyaya ng Diyos. So in spite of the suffering, no, in spite of the deception galing sa biyanan niya, on the other hand, na-recognize niya pabor ng Diyos na naibigay sa kanya. And dito napansin ko rin yung fear of Isaac, no, fear. So parang ang point is yun yung takot sa Panginoon, no, yung takot sa Diyos. Nandun sa nakita na yun sa tatay niya si Isaac. Okay, and then yung sa last part, ayun, of course nagkaroon sila ng kasunduan, no. Kaya nagtayo sila ng pillar, no. So basically, kung mapapansin natin dito sa starting sa verse 47 hanggang 49, nagtayo sila ng pillar. On the part of Laban, nagtayo siya nun, di ba may miss pa na sinasabi dito or watch? Parang point is hindi dahil sa concern siya na bantayan ng Diyos si Jacob, kundi ang concern niya, yan, nakikita tayo ng Diyos, kung may gawin kang masama sa mga anak ko, lagot ka sa Diyos, paparusahan ka niya. So, yun yung point nung miss pa dito. So, yun, and then of course, later on, naghiwalay na rin sila. So, somehow, yun, nagpaalaman na rin. So, that's it. Natapos na din, no? Natapos na rin yung mahaba nilang pagsasama. At least, nakakawala na si Jacob sa toxic relationship niya sa kanyang father-in-law. Ayun, yun lang muna.
Okay, thank you for that, AG, and I like what you mentioned about the recognition that Jacob did. Sana ulit yun. Balikan lang natin ng maganda because we all need that and we all have to do that as well, no? Verse na yun, yung binasa natin kanina. Ayan, verse 42. So this is wonderful na talaga in-acknowledge na ni Jacob, God, the God of my father, the God of Abraham. I agree with what you mentioned regarding the fear of Isaac, no? May takot siya sa Diyos. Okay, kung wala daw yung Diyos sa kanya, perhaps pulubi siya, he was not blessed. So ang ganda, di ba? He really gave the glory back to God. So that is giving glory to God. Hindi niya sinabi na, yes, he did work hard. Nabasa natin yung pag-explain niya kanina kay Laban. Ganito ako nagtrabaho and so on and so forth. Pero yung pinaka-point niya pa rin explanation, it's because of God. Kaya ganito, kaya blessed pa rin ako and so on. So sana something that you can also learn from. And that is humility as well, giving glory back to God. Okay? May comment po tayo. Hello, Charmaine! And John Mark, hello. Salamat sa pa-heart, John. And Joshua, comment niya. We can see here na Jacob really did work hard for Laban in those 20 years. Jacob deserves his wages. Nagsikap, nagtrabaho ng maigi at ginawa niya yung part niya sa agreement nilang dalawa. And we can see here na God blessed Jacob and Laban lost because Laban yung unang nag-deceive. You reap what you sow. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Joshua. Tama ito, no? And natutuwa lang ako in a way dahil may character development akong nakikita talaga kay Jacob dito. Diba may sinabi siya dun sa part when he was going to Laban that Parang yung nakipag-bargain siya kay God, if you remember that, no? If you will be with me, if you will bless me, you will be my God. And true enough, na-acknowledge niya na si God dito sa part na ito. Okay, thank you for the comments and thank you AG. Tawagin ulit kita mamaya later kung mamaya later. Mamaya after ni Jeron pag meron pa, if ever. So, Jeron, any additional insights?
Again, so here nga makikita natin andiyan na yung resentment ni Jacob kasi hindi siya na-treat fairly for 20 years. Kasi 'di ba 7 lang dapat. So, makikita natin dito yung napaggagawa ng pag-ibig pag-ibig. 'Di ba si Rachel naman talaga yung gusto niya. Pero kasi nga may older sister, hindi puwede and then puwede naman na siyang umalis nung 14 years na 'di ba, pero still nag-stay siya. Parang nag-stay pa rin siya sa family nila Jacob and, um, yun nga yung sabi ni Kuya Jesse 'di ba, nagbago yung principles ni Jacob in a way. And again yung integrity niya dito 'no, inalagaan niya. Parang kasi biyenan ba yung tawag sa kanya? Biyenan siya 'di ba? So, son-in-law na siya technically. Pero nag-work pa rin siya. Parang hindi niya na in-acknowledge na member na ako ng family, I don't have to work anymore, parang gano'n. Pero 'di ba, nag-serve pa rin siya and dun sa part na nilabas niya na yung sama ng loob niya, ang amazing, we can see his perseverance, like kung paano siya mag-exert ng effort sa work na ginagawa niya. Hindi lang siya yung work na gagawin mo lang yung work for the sake of doing it, 'di ba? And then hindi niya rin dinaya si Laban dito. Ang honest din ng way na trinit niya sila, 'di ba? And do you remember the past lessons kay Abraham din, 'di ba, yung integrity? So, we see dito sa madaming characters dito yung honesty nila and yung integrity nila. And then, here in verse 42 naman, sabi niya, "But God has seen my trouble and the work I have done. And last night, He gave His judgment," in verse 42, yung reading natin kahapon. So, 'di ba makikita natin the Lord told Jacob to go back to his relatives' land. Kung hindi ba sinabi ni Lord yun sa kanya in the first place, aalis ba siya? Kasi parang si Jacob dito, wala naman tayong makikita na may balak siyang umalis. Si Lord yung nag-command sa kanya. So, we see here the trust of Jacob to the plans of the Lord. Pinapabalik siya dun sa land and puwede i-spoil ng konti, Kuya Jess? Okey, 'di ba? So, pinapabalik siya sa land niya and we all know na meron silang away ni Esau. Pero ginawa pa rin ni Jacob yung will ni Lord, umalis pa rin siya dun sa land na yun kasi yun yung sinabi ni God sa kanya. And then, we see here emphasis na we see here an emphasis that He is a God who sees. He is omnipotent, He is present, He sees our troubles, and siya na magsasabi sa'yo kung ano mong dapat gawin, kailangan mo lang mag-trust, 'di ba? And then, again, it's a fixed negotiation, yung agreement nila. We see the tradition here na meron silang ginagawang maayos na pag-uusap and hindi na lang niya hinayaan na tumakas, 'di ba? And here sa verse 49 naman, "May the Lord keep an eye on us while we are separated from each other." Again, yung sabi ni Kuya Jesse kanina, Jacob recognizes God and naaalala niya yung how God blessed Abraham, Isaac, and right from the top, 'di ba? And finally, they decided to part ways. In a way, it's not really 20 years of resentment, I believe, eh. Kasi ang dami din nangyari na magaganda dito. Pero sometimes, 'di ba, kailangan yung maghiwalay. Kasi maybe that's for the better good of each other. And yes, Jacob was kept there with Laban for 20 years, but when you read in the latter verses, there's even something greater when they go back to the land. So, we see here na 'di ba, applying it in our daily life na lang, merong paghihirap muna bago mo ma-reach yung kailangan mong ma-reach, pero kailangan mo pa rin mag-trust. And then, another thing I noticed here sa last na, sa verse 50, sabi niya, "If you mistreat my daughters or marry other women, even though I don't know about it, remember that God is watching us." So, if we go back to the past traditions, women by this time were not very powerful. They were not very powerful at all, yung men yung nakikita na mataas dito, 'di ba? Pero they were protected. So, 'di ba, as a father, 'di ba yung typical for these days, "Wag mo sasaktan yung anak kong babae, 'pag hindi lagot ka sa'kin," yung mga gano'ng tipo. And we see here na, 'di ba, going back to the past verses again, naalala ko yung sinabi ni Rachel and then ni Leah. That time na, 'di ba, nagkapanaginip, I mean, kinausap ni God si Jacob na bumalik ka sa land. And then, nung kinausap ni Jacob si Rachel at Leah, ang sabi nila, "There is nothing left for us to inherit from our father. He treats us like foreigners. He sold us and now he has spent all the money he was paid for us." So ito yung stand ni Rachel at Leah na parang they are treated as foreigners. They are not really treated as special children. Pero dito makikita natin na si Laban mismo nagsabi, "Do not hurt my daughters." 'Di ba? So andun pa rin yung pagmamahal ni Laban sa mga anak niya. And same with our relationship with our biological fathers and our heavenly Father. Sometimes we just don't see that they really care about us. Na we say na they don't, but they really do, 'di ba? And it takes some time to really notice that. Kapag yun, nung naghiwalay na sila, dun sinabi ni Laban na wag mong sasaktan yung mga anak kong babae. And ayun Kuya Jess.
Interesting. Interesting. Thank you. Thank you for the insights, Jerome. Napaisip tuloy ako dun sa part na pagmamahal ni Laban sa kanyang mga anak. Pero perhaps hindi niya ginawa ng maayos. I'm not sure, no. We're just trying to observe din kung ano man nangyari dito. But indeed, I appreciate the observation. Tapos yung na-mention kanina, I think Jacob wanted to leave, no? Pero mas nag-decide siya nung sinabi na ni God. I think that was chapter 30 then or 29. Nung after niyang nag-work ng 14 years, 'di ba? Sabi niya, "Can I go now so I can return to my homeland?" Pero ayaw nga ni Laban kasi yumayaman siya dahil kay Jacob. Kaya yun. So, okay. Pinagbigyan ni Jacob. And then, may observation pa ako dito in relation to our work when working with our bosses and so on, di ba? What if your boss is like Laban? Kumbaga, parang ginagamit ka, di ba? Hindi na natin ayusin yung trabaho natin kasi alam natin na ganito, ganyan, di ba? Pero, admirable in a way si Jacob kasi nakita natin that he was really working hard. Tapos, he was doing his job seriously pa rin. Nabasa nga natin yung kanyang hinanaing, di ba? Kung gaano daw kalupit nung ginawa niya. He was being honest. He really did what he had to do. So, tayo kaya sa ating mga workplace, sa mga nagtatrabaho po dyan, kung gusto niyo yung boss natin, okay naman siguro. Pero pag hindi natin gusto, di ba? How do we work? Naapektuhan ba ang work natin? Something to think about, ano? And it's really challenging, di ba? Parang gusto nating bumawi sa boss na ayaw natin na kinamumuyan or kinaiinisan natin. So napareflect lang na ako dun sa part na yun. May comment naman si Aiza dito. Sabi niya, Jacob is very admirable here because he worked hard. Ayun. Sacrificed himself and gave 20 years of faithful service to Laban for the success of his enterprise. Endured repeated unfairness, but despite of that, he was protected and blessed. 1 Peter 2:18, slaves in reverent fear of God, submit yourselves to your masters, not only to those who are good and considerate, but also to those who are harsh. So ito lang pala yung sinasabi ko kanina. So eksaktong-eksakto yung comment ni Aiza. Ano? So, as Christians, ito talaga dapat ang ugali natin. Wow, ang hirap. but we can really learn a lot from this. Why? Because we know that God in the end will give justice pa rin, and He will bless us no matter what happens, no? No matter what happens to us. Kahit na natitreat tayo unfairly in our workplace, kung saan man tayo nagtatrabaho. Although sabi ko nga, ang hirap sa totoo lang. Okay. Alright, before we proceed sa takeaway siguro, baka mayroon pang gustong idagdag si AG dito sa 36 to 55. Baka mayroon na-miss out, Brother AG.
Ayun, bro. Kaya, idagdag ko lang, no, yung isa pang na-observe ko dito. Gusto ko lang i-connect sa simulang chapter pa lang. Pansin nyo, after ng Genesis chapter 3, no, yung sa Garden of Eden, halos every chapter puro messed up people yung pinapakita. No? Puro messed up people. After nung una-unang messed up, syempre sina Adam and Eve, then later on si Cain, then later on si Noah, tapos si Abraham. Of course, Abraham nagsinungaling, no? Or let's say white lie something. And then tong si Isaac nagsinungaling din tungkol dun sa asawa niya. Kasi dahil sa takot na mabuking, natatatba mapatay nung leader ng isang bansa o gano'n. And then itong si Jacob, going back, no, dun sa nasa poder pa siya ng parents niya, inisahan niya yung tatay niya. Pinalabas niya na siya sa iso, kaya nakuha niya yung birthright. So mapapansin natin, and then ito dito sa chapter na to, makita natin si Rachel naman, no? Nagnakaw. So regardless of the reason ba't niya ninakaw yun, nagnakaw pa rin siya, di ba? So imagine asawa ni Jacob. Take note, si Jacob, siya ay father of siya yung talagang patriarch ng mga Israelites. Imagine patriarch na yung asawa ng patriarch ng Israel, ng Israelite, ng asawa ng patriarch ng Israel, nagnakaw ng Diyos-Diyosan. Ano sasabi, di ba parang nakakahiya, no? So, in other words, makita natin dito, hindi sinanitize ng Bible, no? Hindi sinanitize ng Bible yung mga flaws nitong mga characters dito. I think, ito yung proof na kailangan dumating si Jesus Christ sa dulo. Mapapansin natin, no? Itong mga ganap dito sa chapter na to, actually may kinalaman to sa mga next chapters pa, and ultimately sa New Testament. Kasi hindi naman magkakaroon ng Jesus Christ kung di na establish yung Nation of Israel. So ito yung ito yung pinakadulo, no? Ay not necessarily dulo, kumbaga ito yun makita natin yung purpose ng Diyos dito na kailangan nga nila ng Jesus Christ sa dulo. Jesus Christ nang magre-redeem. Kasi after all, itong mga ancestors ni Jesus, literally speaking, ancestors ni Jesus Christ ito, sina Jacob, no? And si of course kay Leah, no? Kay Leah pala. Jacob and Leah. So, the more na kailangan ng grace, no? Because of the sins of these people, the more na kailangan dumating yung biyaya ng Diyos, biyaya ng Panginoon through Jesus Christ. These are messed up people. And ang para ma-correct, para ang tanging makakagamot dito sa pagiging messy na to is si Jesus Christ sa kaduluduluhan. And dito makita natin yung control ng Diyos. Take note, di ba winarningan ng Diyos si Laban na wag magsabi ng masama o mabuti kay Jacob. Literally speaking, ang point lang ng Diyos dun is wag siyang mag-i-interfere sa gagawin ni Jacob. So kung ang nangyari is na-prevent ni Laban na umalis si Jacob, or kung ang nangyari is napatay ni Laban si Jacob, edi paano nagkaroon ng paano pa magkakaroon ng Israel? Paano pa magkakaroon ng Jesus Christ? So doon pa lang nakita natin yung kamay ng Diyos, no? So merong reason lahat ito. Ang ultimate reason is the redemption through Jesus Christ. So yun yung pinaka ko dito. additional na na observation ko lang din. Ayun.
Awesome. It's like looking at the big picture already, no? Pero tama, I agree. And na-mention na rin last night, I believe, na from after the flood, di ba? Nagkasala kasi ulit from Noah up to Abraham and so on up to this, Jacob, Esau. Mayroon pa rin mga bakas ng kasalanan na nakita natin. And that's why we really indeed need redemption. And we need Jesus Christ as well. Very, very much needed. Okay? Essential. Essential. Si Jerome naman, baka may gusto ka pang idagdag?
Ang last naman po na maa-add ko for this part is how parents make a great impact on their children. Diba yung story ni Jacob, it shows us na somehow in a way, pag naa-adapt mo kasi yung gano'n and yun yung nakikita mo sa parents mo, may tendency na inuulit mo din. So 'di ba parang nare-repeat yung error from the past. And then we have seen, if you remember Jacob's parents, Isaac and Rebecca, 'di ba? My own favorite sila. And again, na-emphasize sa discussion last week Friday, I think, na Isaac loved Esau and Rebecca loved Jacob. So meron yung favoritism. So dito, 'di ba nagkaroon ng growing rivalry between Esau and Jacob. And then again, ngayon na si Jacob na yung may family, in a way, yun din yung ginagawa niya, 'di ba? Meron siyang two wives, pero mas mahal niya si Rachel kaysa kay Leah. And then, they're sisters pero nagkaroon ng competition dun sa love, 'di ba, ni Jacob. And then again, ngayon na si Jacob is mas ma-e-emphasize pa siya sa following verses. When Jacob had children, 'di ba, ang favorite niya ulit ay si Joseph. And then, dahil sa favoritism na yon, may nagkaroon na nagkagulo na naman ng lahat. And then, after nun, may favorite na naman siya na si Benjamin, 'di ba? So, yun nga, yung favoritism, it's not really a good thing. And I'm not a parent, pero it's hard to do sometimes. It's hard maybe pag nandun na tayo sa position na yun, 'di ba? Pero even if you're not a parent, meron sana yung parang equality gano'n with the people around us para hindi nag-aaway-away. And then, again, the example that the parents set for the children. Sometimes it's hard kasi to tell the child na wag mong gagayahin. Kung yun yung nakikita niya sa mga magulang niya, 'di ba? Kung nakikita niya na ikaw ay may favorite, edi may favorite din ako, 'di ba, para parehas tayo. Pero yun nga, it's not nice. So, yun lang po yung ma-add ko.
Okay, tama. What children see, they do most of the time, really, as we have mentioned. And true enough, yun nga yung nangyari in the past readings natin, na namamana nila yung ugali. Tapos, in the future, mababasa ulit natin yung na-mention nga kanina ni Jerome na may favorite ulit si Jacob. Okay? That would cause problems, favoritism. Wag na lang sigurong ipa-obvious. Pero na-command din kasi yan, di ba, sa New Testament. Do not show partiality. Again, it causes inequality, or mas nakafocus ka sa isang tao, so nane-neglect mo yung iba. Yun kasi yung problema sa favoritism. Okay? Ayan po mga kapatid, mga ka-awesome. We finished our reading for tonight and we are ready for the takeaways for tonight's reading. So if you have last words or kung ano pa yung mga gusto yung i-share, responses, ilagay nyo na po sa comment section at babasahin natin. Patungan na po tayo sa ating responses for tonight's reading, 36 to 55. Okay, may comment lang dito si Ezra. Let me just read the comment. Mukhang naputol. Ang haba. Okay, naputol. So, kailangan ng kadugtong. But anyway, sige, simulan na natin. Personal thought ni Ezra is just sad. On the part of Laban, he enjoyed all the blessings that came from God, but he wasn't interested in following God. He could have gone beside Jacob and helped him in taking care of his household, his daughters, and grandkids. Pero he was a lover of money and material things. God could have included him on his plans Kasi boldly, he saw God's work on the life of Jacob, pero that wasn't enough for him to have faith. Di naman kailangang maghiwalay, pero they need to. Kasi God doesn't want His people mixed with impurity or be influenced by idolatry. Kaya sad for Laban, he was separated from the true blessings of God. Still the same for today. People seek Christianity just to gain blessings, but when it comes to commitment or following, they are not interested. Ooh, this is a powerful thought, brother. I agree with this. Ano? Totoo. Kasi nakita naman ni Laban how God blessed Jacob. But he did not change his mind. Nakita nga natin, focus pa rin siya sa kanyang gods, sa kanyang idols, di ba? And it's sad. And it's very true. True today, as you mentioned. Or people can also see na, yeah, parang okay ang Christianity, pero mas gusto ko pa rin sa kamunduan. May mga ganun din, no? May mga ganung side. Or may hindi kayang i-let go. So perhaps dito si Laban, no? Yes, okay siguro kay God, pero I cannot let go of my riches and everything. I cannot let go of my gods, my idols. Oh, so thank you for this, brother. This is a very good sharing. So, I hope na lahat ng nanonood dito, hindi ganun din yung intention or something. Minsan pwede rin ko, no? Punta lang tayo sa church or sa assembly to feel good. Pag hindi na good, alis na. May mga ganun kasi, no? Na just seeking for our own, and it's sad kung ganun yung magiging reason natin. So, sana hindi po. Alright. Thank you so much for this, Ezra. Okay, now we're ready for our responses. Simulan ko ng tawagin si Angel. Takeaways.
Unang takeaway ko is yung actually related din sa nabanggit mo, Brother Jesse, no? Sa umpisa. Nakita ko pa rin dito, no? Yung sin has its consequences pa rin. So, although dito sa chapter na to, nakita natin na, yun nga, may character development na si Jacob. Pero I think itong mga na-experience niya na to, yung panlilin lang sa kanya, pandaraya sa kanya nung biyanan niya. Actually, yun yung naging kapalit nung pandaraya niya sa tatay niya. No, remember, no, yung sa nagpanggap siyang si Iso. Yes, nakuha nga niya yung inheritance, yung birthright. Pero ito naman yung kapalit. No, yung hassle na makuha yung talagang gusto niyang babae, yung hassle na makaalis agad. So yun. And sin has its consequences, nakita natin dito, another consequence ng sin is, kagaya ng ni Laban, deceiver siya, yun, diniceive din siya ng anak niya. So yun. So kung tayo, deceiver tayo, huwag tayo mag-expect na hindi tayo di-deceive, maaaring i-deceive din tayo. So yun nga, yung idea na what you sow is what you reap. So nandun yun. Second takeaway, makita natin dito, that God is in control. Lalong-lalo na dun sa buhay ni Jacob. So, relate ko rin dito, no, yung sinabi sa Romans, no, if God is for us, who can be against us? So, na-recognize ni Jacob dito yung presence nga ng Diyos sa buhay niya. But take note, no, yung presensya ng Diyos sa buhay ni Jacob, yung pagtulong ng Diyos sa buhay ni Jacob sa yung wealth niya, yung mga flocks niya, all those things are grace from God. Biyaya yun ng Diyos. It is, kasi kung pag-uusapan natin yung kung in-earn niya, kung what I mean is, kaya ako na-receive to sa Diyos kasi ang galing ko. Hindi pa rin kasi tingnan mo naman yung buhay ni Jacob yung ginawa niya. So, yung pagiging deceiver niya. Of course, later on, no, nakakabawi naman siya. Ayun, so, biyaya pa rin ng Diyos. At, of course, yung pagiging, yung sovereignty ng Diyos, yung pagiging in control ng Diyos, meron yung purpose yung Diyos. Ba't niya ginagawa yun kay Jacob? Of course, yung greater purpose niya is to establish later on the nation of Israel na dun manggagaling yung Messiah. Okay. And, additional lang din, naalala ko lang din, no, yung yung verse sa Hebrews, no, yung dinidisiplina ng Diyos yung kanyang mga anak. Again, si Jacob, nilinlang niya yung si Isaac. Pero for the rest of his life, nagkaroon siya ng lesson. Nagkaroon siya ng lesson sa mga pangyayari sa buhay niya. Pero makita natin dito na yung natuto na siya sa lesson niya. Yes, dati manloloko siya, mandaraya. Pero ito, makita natin, nung naging empleyado siya nung kanyang biyanan, nagsilbi siya ng maayos. So, lesson learned na sa kanya. So, nakita natin, naging effective, no? Naging effective yung disiplina ng Diyos kay Jacob. Naging effective yung lesson. So, yung disiplina ng Diyos, yes, punishment yan. But at the same time, gusto ng Diyos, yung disiplina kasi ng Diyos that is supposed to be na ano eh, para ma-purify tayo. No? So, ma-purge tayo. Yung mga yung remaining na faults natin, at least na-purge. At sa case ni Jacob, nakita natin, no, na-purge na talaga siya. Inabait nga ni Jesse kanina, yung character development. And yun, in relation dun sa pagiging empleyado nga ni Jacob kay Laban, so yun, naging mabuti siyang empleyado. So, yun, another lesson yun sa atin, no, maging mabuti empleyado. So, naalala ko lang, no, kasi work from home setup, I think minsan guilty rin siguro ako. Pag work from home setup kasi minsan nakakatuksong, nakakatuksong tumunga nga. Kaya minsan mas gusto ko na, ano, na hindi work from home. Although minsan parang mas gusto ko work from home. Minsan masaya mag-work from home pag gusto makapahinga. Hindi bumiyahe. Pero yun, no, lesson learned lang din. No? So, maging tulad tayo ni Jacob na um, maayos siyang nagtrabaho. So yun, sana magawa natin. No? At ayun, matuto tayo dito sa mga, again, messed up people tong mga to. Sana matuto tayo sa kanila. Ayun.
Thank you. Thank you for those insights and responses, takeaways, Brother AG. Yes, kailangang matuto tayo sana and apply these things that we are learning. Okay, mahirap pero let's continue to train ourselves and our minds and our hearts. With the help of the Holy Spirit, of course. May takeaway naman si Janet. The part na makakauwi na sila. Jacob, yoo-hoo! Really, the breakthrough comes when we trust God in the midst of our circumstances. And nakita naman natin dito na talagang nagtiwala naman si Jacob. And nakita rin natin, di ba, he acknowledged God kanina, yung nabasa nga natin. So thank you for this, Janet. And pasa ko na kay Jerome for her responses.
Before my takeaways, I would like to thank Jesse and Kuya AG for the insights and all our awesomes there who are so active in commenting. Pati sa silent listeners natin. So for tonight's reading, madaming lessons pero I only have one takeaway, which is trusting God's plan. Naalala ko na naman dito yung perseverance ni Jacob, 'di ba? Imagine 2 years. He just stayed there, he did his work, and then he endured. Not knowing, nasasabihin sa'yo ni God one day na bumalik ka sa land ng father mo. And then, sumunod siya, di ba? But he didn't really know what was set before him. Who would have thought, di ba, in the first place na, sino nakakaalam sana na may ate pala si Rachel nung nakita siya, di ba? And then, who would have thought na 20 years pala siya doon? And then, who would have thought na kailangan niyang umuwi by this time? And again, sino din makakaisip na Leah would be the mother of Judah? Nasa kanya galing yung line nila David down to Jesus, 'di ba? And again, hindi favored si Leah dito, si Rachel yung mas mahal. Pero sa kanya galing yung lineage ni Jesus Christ. And then again, who would have thought na yung anak niya ni Joseph magiging soon sa next verses magiging governor ng Egypt, 'di ba? So yun nga, Jacob just trust the Lord. He trusted everything kahit hindi ko alam kung anong plano mo para sa akin, ita-trust kita. 'Di ba? And then again, there's a verse, I don't remember the specific verse, pero 'di ba? Faith is trusting what you could not see. Something like that, 'di ba? Hindi niya naman alam talaga kung saan siya dadalhin, pero trust. And naniwala siya na God will guide him and there's a plan. So yun. may this story be a constant reminder for us to trust the plan and just let God direct our path, because he has way better plans for us, na maybe our plans for ourselves are not even, maybe for us we have great plans for ourselves, but his plan is always greater, and we just don't know it, 'di ba? So sometimes we don't really have to overthink a lot, kasi may plano naman na para sa'yo eh. Kailangan lang sumunod ka, have faith and obedience. So that's all, kuya.
Amen. Solid. Thanks for that, Jerome. Ano? Mahirap magtiwala sa totoo lang, pero as we get to know God, di ba? So far, we can see that we have a good God. With all His qualities and everything, He is a loving and merciful God. So, di ba? Doon tayo magtitiwala, of course. Doon natin ibibigay ang ating trust with a good God. And again, hindi siya yung God na hindi natin ma-approach, na ang gusto niya lang i-punish lahat, or ano pa ba yung wrong notion with God, you know? So we can see so far, di ba? He was wanting to protect, to bless people. So why not trust him? Why not obey him? So kung hindi pa tayo pupunta ka sa kanya, we can have this relationship through Jesus Christ. So again, what are we waiting for? Or if you haven't received yet Jesus Christ in your life, receive Him now, okay, through baptism, and continue to live your lives for Him. Maraming salamat, mga kapatid at mga ka-awesome. Amen ako doon sa mga takeaways. Marami nga, and indeed, this is a reminder again to help us in our faith, mas lumakas ang pananampalataya natin para patuloy tayo sa ating journey as Christians. Thank you. So may mga takeaways pa dito from O'Neill. Same theme almost every night. These are imperfect people, but they all have their turning point, and faith grows in them, all because of God. We can only experience this turning point when we start walking with God. Very true. Totoo. Thank you for this, O'Neill. And we need God's grace every day, ano? And through God, we can change our lives as well. From Ate May, take away the principle of sowing and reaping is true in every aspect of our lives. Kaya naman, mga ka-awesome, it is important to remember that we will reap what we sow. Yes, indeed. Very true. So magtanim tayo kung anong mabuti para mabuti rin ang ating aanihin. Alright, I believe that's about it. And kung meron pa, i-comment nyo lang din dyan. Kung wala, meron tayong group chat na pwede nyong salihan. We can continue our discussion there. So, ipasa ko na kay Jerome for our outro.
Okay, mga ka-awesome, thank you very much for the wonderful discussion, awesome insights. So, stay tuned to Daily Hours as we continue to read, reflect, and respond to the greatest story ever told. See you again tomorrow, 9 p.m. on Facebook, KUMU, or YouTube. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and stay with Jesus. Thank you everybody, co-hosts, Kuya Jesse and Kuya AG, and sa lahat na rin na nagko-comment and actively participating. And fellow Christians, let the light shine wherever you are and let the love of Jesus be seen in you. See you, God bless you, and don't forget to pray.
Thank you, everyone. God bless. See you tomorrow.